Hello, lovebirds. TonyaTko here, and you know what today is, right? It's ManDay. For the rest of the world, it's Monday, but on the TonyaTko show, it's ManDay. It's the day where once a week I dressed up in distracting outfits to teach you very, 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 very potent and pertinent lessons about women from a woman's point of view. Today's video subject was submitted by Wayne Smith Jr. The title of today's video is 5 Signs a Woman's Lying and How to Bust Her. So pay very close attention because your big sister TonyaTko is about to go in. So listen, men, if you have topics for next week's ManDay, be sure to come to my website, TonyaTko.com, and submit your topic ideas right now. Then you'll get an honorary mention like Wayne did. So Wayne, congratulations. I am going to send you an autographed picture, boom, of your girl TonyaTko. Holla at me and let me get your address, etc., and I'll send that right over to you. And I might give you a little extra in there as well. Hold on. Wayne, I decided to be extra generous today, and I am going to send you a complimentary Lick My Face from TKO Skin. Lick My Face is the organic razor bump treatment for men, women, or just people who ever get razor bumps. So this is the Lick My Face. I'm going to include that in with your autograph picture. So congratulations. And for those of you who have skin issues, stretch mark, come over to tkoskin.com. Today's video is sponsored by the Nature's Eraser because I did decide to bring my skin out today, and it is made flawless by the Nature's Eraser. This is how I'm able to make these videos with no stretch marks on my breast, no stretch marks in the corner of my arms, and no stretch marks underneath either. So listen, ladies, and well, no, why am I saying ladies and gentlemen? No. This video is just for the boys. So listen, boys, let's get right into it. 5 signs a woman's lying and how to bust her. Let's go. Let's go. Now, these are not going to be in any particular order. This is just the 5 signs to tell. And you know, part of the reason, I'll say this. Let me sit down for a second. Okay. Part of the reason that I make these videos so pumped up, it's quite deliberate. And let me just tell you this. This is why I think that this video topic is especially important for men, because it can be very easy for you to be distracted by all types of external stimuli. It can be, especially when it comes to women, you know. And I think that there's a part of us inherently that believes that anything that is pretty or anything that looks nice is nice. And there are a lot of people out there who use this misnomer to their advantage. You know, as a matter of fact, oh goodness, I hate to give this example, but you know, when people put up pictures of like when they make movies, you know, of the devil, etc., the devil is this horrible creature with hoof feet and, you know, these horns, and he's like la, 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 with a tail and all this other stuff. And in the Bible it says that Satan is a beautiful sight to behold, that his beauty is just, the splendor of his beauty is just so magnificently overwhelming that you're pulled in and entrenched by that visual glory. So, you know, I need you to be especially careful. You know, some people are like, oh, I can't concentrate with your breast. That's the whole point, because if you can't concentrate from looking at me in a video, if you can't concentrate on what it is that I'm saying, you know, in real life, when you come into contact, you know, with a woman who smells so nice and her skin is just glossing and just shining, and you just, oh, how you want to touch it and just squeeze it and just see what it feels like both outside and inside. You know, so if you can't learn to control yourself to a certain extent, you always be prey, you know. And so I'm trying to help you out. So listen, work through the stimuli. Once you can get over that, once you can get past that, oh honey, you can do anything. So let's go. Let's bring the board back out. And if you want to know about today's outfit of the day, make sure you come to the video that I posted right before this. I give all of the components. Okay, here we go. Number 5. And you should be familiar with this word, Blitz. I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. When you're being bombarded by confusion, when you have a barrage of stimuli, or when you are overwhelmed by distraction. These could be all signs that a person is trying to avert you from what's really going on. Number 4. Now, you know how magic tricks work, right? I just put magic trick. You know how magic trick works, right? While something really important and pertinent is happening, we're distracted by something else, some fast hand movement, some assistant moving on the side of the stage, and this actually helps us as animals in the animal kingdom. Like the people who were able, I feel like the light is so dark with that board. The fact that we are here right now means that there was a lot of trial and error, you know, genetically, genealogically, with who was going to make it and who wasn't. And being able to avert to distraction actually helped us survive. Like if you hear a loud noise, boom, over there, you're automatically going to look over there because that is what helped us get to this point in terms of human evolution. We, like the people, you hear a loud noise, boom, over there. The people who didn't turn around were eaten by the saber-toothed tigers. So I want you to remember these 2 words. Okay? Remember these 2 words. You can look these up in the dictionary and become very familiar with them. The first word is aversion. The second word is diversion. Go look those up. And I want you to pay very close attention to when this is happening in your life. Aversion and diversion. When someone is trying to distract you or draw your attention elsewhere or put your attention elsewhere, you may need to beware. I'll give you some examples. Extreme emotion like anger, sadness, envy, lust. Just extreme over the top emotions. If you start asking a person questions and they become inexplicably irate, like at a level that doesn't match the situation that's going on, if they become really angry, if they start trying to bring up something from your past, divert the attention from her and avert it onto you. Not only that, some diversions are quite pleasant. You ever seen that Twix commercial and the woman is like, honey, do I look fat? And he's like, snap, and he like shoves these Twix inside his mouth. You know, if you're asking a woman questions and all of a sudden she's just struck by the lust demon and she just can't help herself but wanting to put your penis in her mouth, there could be a reason she's trying to shut herself up. I mean, think about it. So I mean, yeah, it's a lovely distraction, but there could be a reason that she's trying to turn away from the conversation. Just, you know, try. I know you're going to be soaring through the cosmos on that one, but try to remember what the conversation was about once you come back. And if it's rinse and repeat, like over and over, you might be able to get a few BJs out of this, among other things, but still try to remember. Don't let her suck the idea out of you. Okay? So just try to remember what it was that you all were speaking about before she jumped down on her knee. Number 3 on the list is backhoe. Backhoe. A backhoe is a machine that has like this scoop on the front that scoops up dirt from the earth. And that's exactly what I need you to do. It unearths what's underneath. I need you to dig deep. I need you to unearth what may be going on. Look a little bit deeper into what's happening and what it is that you're being told. One thing that works extremely well is to ask hierarchical questions. You know, like how you have this, which leads to that, then you put some stuff underneath, and then in that, ask questions, let one question lead into the other, and you just kind of magnify You kind of you use like a magnifying glass to kind of look further in. Number 2 on the list, I couldn't think of a better way to put it. So I wrote, in that ASS. Okay. I want you to get in there. Get in that behind. Get in there. Unfortunately, one thing that's happening is men, you're just not asking enough questions. You know, and if you start asking questions and a person starts averting and diverting, you have to really think about what it is that's behind this aversion. You really need to get in that behind. If there's a person who is telling you something, they shouldn't have a problem answering questions about what it is that they're telling you. If the more you ask them, the more irate they become. The more you delve in, the more uncomfortable they become. If they start squirming, squeaming, getting angry, leaving, hanging up on you, all this other stuff, you know, there could be a reason why. I need you to be like a proctologist and get a little invasive. Why not? You know, get and start asking the tough questions. I know sometimes it's very difficult for men, but get in there and start asking the tough questions. Get intrusive. Because if somebody doesn't have anything to hide, honey, they got nothing to hide. But if they know that their story does not hold up, that's when things start to fall apart for them. So I need you to get a little invasive. Get in that behind, son. Get in that behind. And then number 1, this is my favorite. The smell test. Maybe not what you might be thinking, but the smell test. Does it smell fishy? No, not like that. Bad pun. But listen, smell test. I need you to use your intuition, that gut feeling. I need you to think about the relationship overall, and where you are. I don't know if the lie that you're trying to unearth is a person trying to get something from you, trying to convince you of something else. But if somebody is trying to get something from you, does what it is that they're trying to get match the stage of the relationship? If this person trying to get thousands of dollars, but you just met them, this could be a telltale sign that something is wrong. Because, you know, like with any blitz, you have to distract, get in, get out. It's guerrilla warfare, knock down, drag down, run over, and then go. You know, so is what they're doing in line with the stage of the relationship? If it's not, you have to take a step back. And if a person is trying to force you to do something, I remember, this is a quick segue. When I was in college, I did a little part-time stint at AT&T. And there were people who would call up on the phone very angry, screaming. Some of these people were making international phone calls and wanting their phone calls to be refunded. And one thing that they taught us in training was, if somebody is saying a lot of things to you that are confusing you, your mind is swimming, you can't really concentrate, you don't know what's going on, you really need to pause and say, you know what, I need to get my thoughts together. Give me just a moment. Let me process all of this. So if somebody is blitzing you and they're like, oh, this has to happen right now. This has to happen right now. Like, there was a guy who, when I was living in Atlanta, he told me he was on vacation down in Miami, and something happened. His car was stolen and all this other crazy stuff. He needed me to cash a check for him. So I put the check in the bank, but I spoke to the people at the bank and I was like, what's the likelihood that if this check is not a good check, how long will it take for me to find out? And if such and such, what are the penalties, or what will I have to face, etc. So I spoke with them about it before I put the check in. And so the manager was already alerted that I was a little kind of suspicious, because the guy was like, he's calling me up. Oh, this is what happened. It was all good. He was like, the check was like for $500. Oh no, for $700. He told me I could keep $200 and I just needed to send $5 down to him. So he gave me the check on a Friday. The check cleared on that Friday, and so the funds appeared to be available. He starts calling me up. I'm stranded. I'm stranded. I don't know what to do. I can't get out of here. And he's like screaming at me on the phone. And I'm like, listen, you know, I've spoken with the people at the bank. We just need to make sure that the funds have gone through. He's like, what are you talking about? The funds, I'm sure they've gone through. Right? And I was like, listen, well, it's the weekend. They told me that it would not, that there's a temporary clear, but it would not clear until that Monday. And he was like calling me up, and he got more and more frantic, just really over the top, blitzing me, with all of this craziness about how he was stranded. He's out on the side of the road. He can't eat. He can't get home. His daughter's such. I don't even remember what he was saying. He was just such an emergency situation. He's blitzing your girl. And so when that Monday came, guess what? Monday came and that money was pulled right back out of the account. When all was said and done, it just did not add up. Guess who I never heard from again with his emergency situation? Guess who I never heard from? Because he was like threatening me about how I was trying to steal his money and all this, that, and the other. Guess who I never heard from again? And the bank manager was nice enough, because I had come to her beforehand and she realized, and I was young girl in my early 20s, and this big grown man tried to scam me. So yeah, so if somebody is blitzing you, overwhelming you, bombarding you with a whole lot of, oh my, just take a step back. Take a step back and see how the situation feels. Put it through your smell test, and I'm going to show you how to use your intuition after we finish having this talk. But if something is too good to be true, listen, and I know our egos can get the best of us, and sometimes we want to believe certain lies. But some things are just too good to be true. And if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. So you just need to take a moment to just kind of evaluate the whole situation, unearth it, ask questions, do all of the things on the list. Rewind the video if you need to see that again. And then my question to you is, do you really want to know the truth? And let's talk about risk and reward. Do you really want to know the truth? There was one guy who wrote to me, and he was in limbo waiting for this girl to leave her man for years. He waited for her because, how she hated her man and she needed to leave because this, that, and the other. And meanwhile, he's in the balance. And sometimes we want to believe the lie. So you need to look within yourself and see, do you really want to know the truth? I mean, some lies we don't want to know the truth to. I had an ex who was asking me about, you remember I did that video series, Does Size Matter? And he started grilling me, and I'm truthful. So when I started telling him the truth, he was like, all right. He didn't want to hear the truth. So do you really want to hear the truth, depending on what the lie is? How many partners she had before, whether or not you're the best, I don't know, or whether or not you're the biggest, I don't know. Are these things that you want to know? Some lies, you listen, are just for ego's sake, And then also, you know what? Look at a person's actions versus their words. Are they exhibiting the actions of a person that you feel categorically would display if this were the truth? Is this person saying that you're their one and only, but when you call on Friday night, you can't get through? Something not adding up. Does this person go disappearing for quite some time? Just things just don't pass your smell test. And when you start asking questions, they're like, don't question me and all this other stuff. Well, especially if somebody's asking for something from you, listen, get in that behind. If they listen, I remember there was this guy, sometimes when I was younger, I used to like to act crazy. I don't know why I used to like to act crazy. I used to like to act crazy sometimes, and this guy, I don't know why I decided to, when you're young, a young girl trying to figure your way out in this dating world, I started grilling him about what he was doing and who he was doing it with and all this other stuff. I was grilling the dude. And the dude was like, I don't mind you acting like my girl, but if you're going to act like my girl, just make sure that you're prepared to play the part all the way. Be prepared to play the part all the way. And you need to hold people up to a certain standard. If they want your money and want to play the part of wifey, what else are they bringing to the table to uphold that role 100% to the T? And is that okay with you? There was a guy who tried to get me to, I was dating this guy. He looked so good. His dark skin hypnotized me. I told you, I always talk about him. He was the darkest skinned man I'd ever dated. His skin was like obsidian. Oh, what obsidian is, like that moon rock. Oh God, the man was fine. He was like onyx, opal, dark, and just tasty. But he wanted your girl to lend him some money. Honey, now we're crossing over into dangerous territory. You want me to lend you some money, huh? All right. Well, listen, I got in that behind. All right. He wanted me to lend him some money. Number one, I needed a promissory note. We needed to sign a contract. Not only that, I needed to get and have access to his bank account records and be able to see, listen, if it's all going to add up. He said he needed some money because his daughter, oh, it was such a sad story. The AC, his electricity had been turned off. Number one, I was turned off by the fact that this fool really didn't have any money. This was problem number one. So I was turned off from him as a man. But his daughter was in a situation where there was no AC in the house, and it was the sweltering summer. Okay, so now you and your daughter are inside a place, and then the food was going to spoil in the fridge. Blitzing me. Okay, so if that's the case, let me see what's inside your bank account. Let me get your social security number, and let me be able to contact Con Edison. Let me get into that account, see what your bills were, how these bills were being paid. I need to have access to your bank account. He needed to give me access to his bank account because this was going to be a loan. And once his paycheck came in through automatic deposit, I needed to be able to transfer that money from his bank to mine, send a wire transfer. So he didn't want to give me access to his bank account, his social security number, and all of that. Listen, hey, if this is what you want, you need to put in what will meet my requirements to feel comfortable enough to do that. If you can't meet my requirements, honey, no, you're out. Out. Because I wanted to help his daughter out, but if you can't satisfy what it is that I need, and you as a man, you need to think about what it is that you need as a man before you weight in the balance for her to leave this man, before you open up your wallet to buy these exorbitant gifts. Now listen, there is nothing the matter. I will never sit here and advocate for a man not to spend money on a woman, not to spoil a woman, but I don't want you to be used. So number one, when we talk about spending money on women, do not give anything that you cannot afford to lose. Don't go above and beyond your means. You'd be surprised how many men go into a tremendous amount of debt trying to satisfy a woman. If a woman has tastes that are outside of your budget, that may not be the woman for you. If you have to go $25,000 into debt trying to make her happy, that may not be the woman for you, because when all is said and done and you are unearthed, that woman is not going to be happy with that situation. So you might as well let her go on, unless you both are trying to use each other. She's trying to use you for money, you're trying to use her for panani, and you're just trying to see where the two shall meet. If that's the type of agreement and relationship that you both want to go into, that you both want to enter into, where you don't care whether it passes the smell test, because what you really want is just the vagina anyway, and you're trying to see who will give more when. Yeah, you gamble like that if you want to, but like I said, don't gamble more than you can afford to lose. You know what? I went on to a tirade, didn't I? Okay. So another way to find out, to bust her, is to check out her body language. Look at her face. Some of these conversations you don't need to have in text message. You cannot tell a person's inflection via text message. You can't even, there's only but so much you can tell over the phone. Sometimes you really need to sit down there and you really need to look a person in their eyes. And I know that for a lot of men, looking a woman in her eyes is very uneasy, because there are a whole lot of mommy issues and, the scolding that men have gone through with their mothers, etc. So, there's this whole dynamic that exists there. One thing that I forgot to add on my list when we start talking about the diversion, right? And for these words, the word is avert or divert, if you want to go look that up in the dictionary. But here we go. The extreme emotions. Listen, here we go. Crying. I'm going to put that on the list. Crying, right? And I know this is a very touchy, tough one, because a lot of men are weakened by the tears of women biologically. There's a chemical inside women's tears that make a man's penis go limp. So a lot of men tears are very uncomfortable, especially since girls are so soft and so this, that, and the other. And you just have to, like I said, when you're experiencing a blitz and things are very confusing, don't make any decisions Don't make any decisions that you can't live with until you take a few moments to kind of let things simmer down, let it rest on your spirit, and then go forward. You have to take your time. All right. So body language. A lot of these conversations you need to have in person. So I want you to take a look at my body language. I want you to take a look at my body language. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an experiment with you. I'm going to put my hair up real quick because I want you to be able to see my face. Because I'm going to tell some lies. Okay? What type of lies would you like me to tell? What type of lies would you like me to tell? What type of lies would you like me to tell? Okay, let me put my hair up because I want you to look at my look at my eyes, look at my mouth. I'm going to try to be as convincing as possible. But you know, the body, you know what? There's a lot of things that's going on inside a person. You know, your head is always revolving. As you're watching this video, probably 3 or 4 other things that you're thinking about. Among other things. But listen, so there are always a lot of different things going on. So when we start to untruth, our bodies revolt against us. So here, I'm going to move closer so you can see me. Okay, I'm going to try to be as serious as possible. I'm going to tell some lies, and I'm going to try to be convincing. Okay? All right. I weigh 110 pounds. Outside. Hold on, outside. All right, I'm gonna try better. I'm gonna try better than that. I'm gonna try better. Okay, I'm gonna try better. All right, I weigh 110 pounds, and you know, I have to look at the video after, you know, to even see some of my own inflection. But you know, if someone's talking to you and their face or their body is a direct betrayal to what it is that they're talking about. If a person looks like they're smirking, look for those micro expressions, those little things, the flicker, and this is where you have to use your intuition as a human being. Look for a little glimmer and pay attention because there will always be clues. So I weigh 110 pounds. What else? I have never used a man for money. Okay, I once broke my foot horseback riding. I said this is such a bad experiment because none of these make any sense. None of these make any sense. You know, I am a raving slut, and it's very easy for people to have sex with me. Meaningless sex. It's so easy. I give it up to just about anybody. You know? All right. So anyway, so I don't know what my face looks like. This was just an experiment at the end of the video, and I just added that just as bonus sake so that you can look at my face because I don't know what my face looks like, and I don't know how convincing. My father is retiring, or my father has retired, and I'm happy that he is moving outside of the country. I don't know how to cook. I don't think what you put in your body matters. I eat McDonald's. I eat fast food. I um I I yeah, I eat hot dogs. So I don't believe in saving money. I don't believe in putting money away for a rainy day. I feel like live it up today if you got it like that. You know, I believe, listen, I buy nothing but designer clothes, and my clothes are quite expensive, and I always wear the latest fashions and everything. Why am I, see, my face is in a grimace. I look like I'm in pain. Who could not tell that's a lie? Okay, who could not tell? I'm gonna try to smile. See, but what I'm saying is there's so many telltale signs. Really, just look. Just look and pay attention. And then not only that, when we talk about the smell test, I'm going to tell you how to use your intuition as a man. I want you to say, my name is, and you say your name. My name is, well, my name is Tonya. And You know what? One thing I just did notice, right? I noticed when I was untruthing a little while ago, I was for some reason shaking my head, even though I was giving an affirmative sentence. And now when I was like, my name is Tonya, my head is moving up and down in a nod. So that could be very interesting, very interesting. So anyway, so listen, say your name. My name is Tonya, right? And then the next statement, I'm the President of the United States. Say that out loud and feel your voice vibrating through your body. And where you feel that part where it gives a ping or a scratch or some friction or vibration, when you tell the lie, I need you to know that that is where your intuition is in your body. For me, it's in my abdomen. For some people, it's across their shoulders. Other people, it's in the middle. Some people, their head begins to hurt. Other people, they get cold. Some people get hot. So you need to, wherever it is that you felt that ping in your body, concentrate yourself into that part of your body and see what that feels like. When that guy told me he was stranded on the side of the road and he needed to get up to back to Atlanta, I was not buying it. There was something in it that just didn't feel right to my spirit. Even though he was frantic, there was something in my cipher, in my psyche, in my aura, in my spirit that just did not feel what it was that he was saying. I did not feel it was the truth, and I didn't participate in that. And I dodged a bullet on that one. I dodged a bullet. So listen, that's my whole video for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have other questions for ManDay, I need you to submit your questions so that I can be able to know what it is that men want to know from a woman's point of view. I enjoy doing a video like this because I feel that a video like this will be of great service to a lot of men out there who are just not tapping into their intuition, who are just not paying attention to those warning signs that they feel inside. And the sad part is that men don't really have anybody that they can talk to. But you can talk to me. Talk to me and let's talk about this. Let's unearth some of these myths, fallacies, and dating rules and regulations. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So anyway, listen, let's hug. Let's hug. I love you all very much. Take your eyes off of me. Hug me. I love you all so very, 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 very much. I love you guys so much. So listen. Go out there and, ooh, I'm falling off my chair. Okay, here we go. Listen. All right. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? That's right. Love yourself. Not enough people talk to men about self-love. And I mean, listen, once you go through the ravages of relationships without anybody to really unload all of that, all of the pains of the past, we can grow becoming very bitter. But I don't want your relationships to make you bitter. I want them to make you better. So let's get better. I want you to be a kind and strong, loving man to a woman who deserves that. Everything that looks nice ain't nice. So let's go from there. So listen, TonyaTko, this is my website right here. TonyaTko.com. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/TonyaTko show. Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest is at TonyaTko, and that's Tonya, what? With an O, Tonya. But the best way to always get in touch with me is to come to my website, TonyaTko.com. You can join the mailing list so that when I do the ManDay videos, you can get it sent right to your inbox. You don't have to worry about having to stalk YouTube or peruse the net for it. It can come right into your inbox. So listen, TonyaTko, and I am out. I love you all very much. Submit your questions now. And Wayan Smith Jr., who gave today's topic, congratulations. I know you're going to help a lot of men with this subject. Okay, so thank you for your submission. And write to me for your prizes. Remember, you get the Lick My Face, the anti-razor bump cream, which can be used anywhere. And you can use that here, there, anywhere here. And you also get an autographed picture of TonyaTko. Boom! I love you all so very, very much. And remember, come check out my organic, all-natural, handmade skincare website at tkoskin.com. Go get flawless skin if you suffer from stretch marks, razor bumps, skin discoloration, hyperpigmentation, cuts, scrapes, bruises, old mosquito bites, burns, come holla at me and we'll work it out. You can see some before and after pictures over there. And it is handmade by your girl, TonyaTko. Peace.